Welcome to the podcast. Let's dive into the dynamic landscape of the SKO summit. It's fascinating how this summit, hosted in Tianjin by President Xi Jinping, is, well, positioning multilateralism at the forefront amid all the geopolitical tensions and economic uncertainties.
Yep, absolutely. It's intriguing how this event has evolved from its foundation in 2001 to becoming a massive regional alliance that brings together 26 countries with a combined economic output of nearly $30 trillion.
Exactly. And what's really compelling is that over the past 5 years, trade between China and the SCO members has surged dramatically. Last year alone, it hit a record $512.4 billion.
That's
It's like
impressive.
watching a small stream turn into a raging river.
Right, and it's not just about the numbers. The summit is a stage for high level political, economic, and security discussions. It really sets the tone for how regional powers can work together, especially when the global stage is so volatile.
Yeah, definitely. And what's interesting is that the event is capturing the attention of numerous commentators and analysts. You have experts like Zun Ahmed Khan, Victor Gao, Anton Fedyashin, and Vijay Prashad weighing in. Their perspectives add layers to our understanding of what this summit could
Right.
mean for multilateral cooperation. It's like getting multiple lenses on one big picture.
Absolutely. But I do wonder though, isn't there a risk that the summit is being used as a platform for one side to promote its narrative? I mean, given that it's hosted by Xi Jinping and organized under a Chinese media banner, do you think there's a certain bias in how the event is presented?
That's a valid point. I mean, there's always the potential for a skewed perspective when a host nation is heavily invested politically and economically. The narrative certainly emphasizes multilateralism, which ideally should benefit all members,
I
regardless
see.
of their backgrounds. But it's important to ask whether that openness really translates to balanced decision making.
Exactly. And while the trade figures are staggering, questioning the sustainability of such growth in the face of political realities is crucial. It's not just about the dollars, it's about how these partnerships are forged and maintained over time.
For sure, it's like baking a complex cake. You need the right ingredients, political trust, economic stability, mutual understanding. And if one element is off, the whole recipe might not turn out as expected. And when you consider the influence of geopolitical tensions, it adds another layer of complexity.
Yeah, that's a neat analogy. And speaking of geopolitical tensions, the SCO summit also seems to be a stage for addressing not just economic ties, but security issues as well. How do you see that dual focus on security alongside economic partnerships?
It's definitely a balancing act. On one hand, you have economic synergies with trade reaching record highs, and on the other, you have, well, serious security dimensions that keep everyone alert. It's like trying to manage a very large, intricate orchestra where every instrument, economic policy, security strategy, political diplomacy, needs to play in harmony.
Interesting. Exactly. And each country's national interest plays a role in this symphony. Some, arguably, might prioritize economic gains, while others are more preoccupied with security and defense logistics. That divergence sometimes makes for quite a challenging dynamic, wouldn't you say?
Definitely, it's a dance with multiple partners, and each of them brings their own steps to the floor. The summit isn't just a celebration of multilateralism, but also a test of how well these diverse interests can mesh together in a time of global uncertainty.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one thing I found particularly engaging is the emphasis on multilateralism itself as a solution to today's challenges. But might it be overly optimistic to believe that just bringing leaders together will automatically mend or manage deep rooted geopolitical disputes?
That's a tough question. On the one hand, the very act of gathering, as seen here with 26 countries under one roof, sends a message about commitment to dialogue and cooperation.
Right.
However, if the underlying issues, like competing national ambitions and allegiances, aren't resolved, then these meetings might just end up being symbolic gestures rather than catalysts for change.
It's interesting because while the summit projects unity, There's an undercurrent of tension that suggests not everything is as harmonious as it appears. It's a bit like painting over cracks with a fresh coat of paint.
Exactly. And if you consider the context, economic uncertainty, rising geopolitical stakes, it becomes even more critical to question whether the structure of the SCO itself can handle these challenges in
Yeah, I
practice.
would say there's some merit to that skepticism. And what about the economic side of things? With trade soaring to over $500 billion between China and its SCO members, do you think this financial momentum can be sustained over the long term?
Well, it's like building a skyscraper. You need a solid foundation. The surge in trade speaks to a robust desire for closer economic ties, but sustaining that momentum requires continuous, mutual investment and adaptability to global market shifts. It's not every day you see $512.4 billion in trade just like that, without significant infrastructure and policy support behind it.
Indeed. That's true. And it also depends on the political will of each member country to keep investing in these partnerships rather than turning inward when challenges mount.
Absolutely. And the success or potential pitfalls of this economic strategy are closely tied to the broader ambitions of multilateralism. It's like a chain where each link represents different facets: security, trade, political dialogue. If one fails,
Right, I get
the
that.
whole chain could be at risk.
Speaking of links, do you think there's any risk that the summit, by drawing together such a diverse group, might struggle to address the unique needs of smaller or emerging economies within the alliance?
That's an interesting angle, and indeed, smaller nations might sometimes feel overshadowed by the economic giants. The sheer scale of trade and political clout in the SCO can lead to uneven power dynamics, where the interests of the lesser players might be sacrificed for broader agreements.
Yeah, that sounds like a fair critique. It makes me wonder if the summit can truly claim to be an inclusive multilateral forum, or if, in reality, it ends up being a forum for the most powerful voices to drown out the others.
That's a point worth pondering. While the narrative is one of unity and shared prosperity, the actual power imbalances may limit how much real influence the smaller members can exert. But then again, these meetings are also opportunities for all voices to at least be heard, even if the decisions tend to favor the bigger players.
Yeah. So, in a way, it's a double-edged sword. The summit promotes dialogue, yet the inherent disparities might skew outcomes.
Precisely. And that's what makes this event so rich for analysis. It's not just a simple gathering, it's a microcosm of global power dynamics, with all its promises and pitfalls.
Yeah, it's like watching a high-stakes chess game in real time, where each move is loaded with economic and political significance. Would you agree that this makes the summit both a symbol of hope and a source of caution?
Absolutely. It's this paradox that fuels so much debate. On one side, we see a united effort to stabilize a turbulent world. On the other, we have the very real challenges of imbalanced power and differing national agendas. It's like trying to balance on a tightrope with gusts of unpredictable wind.
Yes, I get that. And let's not forget the media role here. CGTN America is presenting the event in a particular light. How do you think the narrative shape affects global perceptions of the summit?
The narrative, yes, plays a big role. Media framing can sometimes amplify the positives of multilateral cooperation while downplaying underlying tensions. It's almost like choosing a filter on a photo. The picture remains the same, but its impact can be transformed.
That's true. So, when global audiences see this polished version, they might not fully grasp the complexity beneath the surface.
Exactly. It's important to consider that while the summit promotes an image of global unity, it simultaneously operates within a framework of political maneuvering and economic stratification.
Yep, absolutely. Well, this conversation really highlights just how multifaceted the SEO summit is. It's both a beacon of potential cooperation and a reminder of existing divides.
Right, and as we continue to watch these developments, it will be crucial to see how both the economic partnerships and political alliances evolve. Who knows? This might just reshape the way nations interact in a shifting global order.
Indeed. It's been great unpacking these layers. Whether you're excited by the possibilities or cautious about the challenges, the SEO Summit unquestionably offers plenty to chew on.
Absolutely, and thanks for diving into this with me. It's these kinds of nuanced discussions that remind us there's always more beneath the surface in global affairs.
Right on. And for our listeners, keep an eye on how these developments unfold. With the world in a state of flux, moments like these could very well be the turning points for new international policies and alliances.
Truly, it's an exciting time, full of complexity and potential. Until next time, let's keep the conversation going and continue questioning, analyzing, and understanding our global landscape.
Yep, see you next time.